Excuse me, y'all. Recording. We checking the mics. That's not really what we're doing, but I was coughing. But anyway, welcome. Hey, single moms, hashtag single moms level up. This is the Just Be broadcast. I was gonna say podcast. The Just Be broadcast, the summer series for that is presented by Single Moms Level Up. And so I am the founder and creator of Single Moms Level Up. And I just felt like I felt led to start a podcast. God been asking me to start a podcast for a while. I didn't know what I was doing. I've gained some more knowledge. So now I've actually got a podcast going that is posted on YouTube. But of course, I will pull out some shorts and all that stuff from recordings to put on other social media platforms, but here we are. So it's a little hot, and when I set all this stuff up, I was like, okay, I'm cool, it's kind of cool right here. But I'm seeing that my face is glowing and I'm hot. So I'm gonna grab a little something and show you something, single mom, something you need to keep in your bag, in your car, whatever, however you do it. But let me set it up. Ooh, almost fell on the floor. Okay, so let me set it up. I gotta cover up my keyboard because this involves water. So, when you're out and about with your kids and stuff, and you get this glow thing going, they've got their activities going, you're going, especially if you're living out in the down south. I'm in Houston, Texas. It's hotter than a booger bear. But hotter than I'll get out is what my mama would say. And so a lot of times you get this thing going on. So I um I found these things on the website, and for with the boxes that I give away once a month for single moms during the single moms event that is hosted by Single Moms Level Up on the YouTube channel. Single Moms Level Up also streams into the Single Moms Club private Facebook group. So I give away a single mom queen kit, and it's got this in there. It's very white, so that's why I'm not putting it too close to the screen because it just is almost glowing. But anyway, what's in here is these little things. Let me put that there. Okay. So what's in here is this. I'm gonna put the water bottle down. I'm trying to hold too much stuff. Is this. So it's a little dot that's about this big. So if you ever saw that movie I Spy, the comedian that was there was trying to be a spy and all that stuff. I can't think of her name. I want to say her name, but I don't think it's the correct name, so I'm not going to say it. But anyway, this is actually a disposable washcloth. Um, you see how small it is here. How small it is here. It's a little dot. Reminds me of Razzles. It reminds you of Razzles, so don't leave it out because it looks like candy. But all you need to do, and I'm gonna use a clear bowl so you can see this, because this is like amazing. So all you need is a clear bowl like this. Pour just a little bit of water on it. You don't actually need much, it's just a little bit, so you don't have to waste all your water, and there's still even some more water in there. And then once it starts soaking up the water, you could just unfold it, keep unfolding it, and unfold it, and unfold it, and look at that. It's bigger than my hand, y'all. It's bigger than my hand. That is an awesome thing. So just some regular old bottled water. Oh my gosh. I'm wiping my face instead of dabbing it because, child, I'm feeling some kind of way, especially under these lights. And I think mostly that's what it is because I have not been sweating like this all day. And it's just I got all these lights on in here so y'all could see my face and my mouth and all that stuff. But there we go. That's what you do, just like that. And that's gone. And I'm moving stuff around. Want to cover up my water because I might need that later. Might need that later. And just dab my face a little bit. Okay, there. Not so much shine. It's still a little shiny, but not that shiny. I'll throw that back there. Grab my little note cards that I might or might not need. We'll see. But anyway, so here we are, y'all. Thank you for watching this podcast. Like and subscribe, of course, and share. This is new to me. I'm learning how to podcast. I'm learning how all this equipment and stuff works. I have been um, doing lives and doing what I initially was calling single mom challenges because it is a challenge being a single mom, but that doesn't attract people's attention. What single mom wants to have another challenge? You know what I'm saying? What single mom wants to have another challenge? No, but no single mom's gonna say, "Hey, yeah, give me another challenge." No, we're not gonna do that. So I changed it to events because it sounds more pleasing and appetizing, to the mind and the thought process and everything. But it's every month, around the 15th of the month, there is a 5-day single mom event that Single Moms Level Up host, and it covers the subjects that people that join um that have told me, what their hardest thing is, being a single mom, what their biggest challenge is. They're telling me what their biggest challenge is of being a single mom. That information is coming from the Single Moms Club. So when you join the Single Moms Club, there's 3 questions that are asked, and though through those questions, that's where the subjects from the single mom events, monthly events, come from. So I give away a single mom queen kit every month for the top contributor, the person that comments, or that comments with their biggest takeaways, that the person that likes or shares or invites somebody into the Single Moms Club. That is one of the rules, is that you do have to be a member of the Single Moms Club private Facebook group. There is no charge to be in that group, but it is a private group because there are some things that are coming through the pipeline starting at the end of this month that are only going to be streamed in the Single Moms Club. I'm not going to stream it on YouTube. I'm sorry, y'all, because there's got to be some type of benefit for being a part of the Single Moms Club. And this is that benefit, is that this is going to stream through the Single Moms Club, or into the Single Moms Club private Facebook group. And that is a Single Moms Conference. So this Single Moms Conference is going to happen July 28th, 29th, and the 30th. Yes, it's 3 days, and we'll be covering a lot of subjects. Actually, it may be two. Because we're not in a hotel. Usually that third day is wrapping it up, having breakfast and whatever else. And since we're not in person, that kind of doesn't count. Because we ain't gotta have breakfast together. You know what I'm saying? That's on Sunday. So it's gonna be a 2-day event. The 28th and the 29th. I did that. I did that. I just, rewound and restated that and said, yes, it's gonna be a 2-day event. Um Actually, no. Let's keep it. That's a hot mess right there. The indecisiveness, and I can't stand indecisiveness, and yet I just did it. Let's keep it 3 days. So that way on Sunday, if you guys have questions, or want to have, we'll have a Q&A session on Sunday. It won't be a full day, it'll be a partial day. Yes, we can sit down and have our breakfast and coffee with each other and stuff, and have that event happening in the Single Moms Club private Facebook group. We'll run that there. May have, some VIP might be popping off with, some people that can come in and be a part of the actual event, and be in there, so that there may be some VIP popping off. But and This is an event that, of course, there's a fee for it, but because I'm a single mom, I'm not going to make it something crazy. So look out for those ads and see what that is. Know that there is an investment that you have to make for yourself. That's something that I started doing this year for the first time on purpose and intentionally, and planned it into my year with my income tax return. So this year, with my income tax return, I decided that I was going to set aside some money to invest in myself. So there were three events that I wanted to attend this year that had came up to me, and there were three events that I wanted to attend, and I found out how much they were and made that investment in myself. It was more than I have ever really spent on myself um, for an event that wasn't something that was um, like clothes or I can't even say food because I don't eat that much where it's that much money. So I'll say clothes. So generally for myself, I tend to buy clothes maybe every 3 years, and might buy a few things here and there, but it's not much. I have not budgeted money out for my clothes on a yearly basis. It's something that has to hit me. I don't like shopping, y'all. I know I'm a woman and that seems a little oddball, but I don't like shopping. I want to get in and get out. I don't want to sit in there and be in there all day long trying on this, trying on that. I no, I don't want to do all that. So I I have to be in the mood. I have to be in the mood to do it. And needless to say, when I'm in the mood, I better have a budget, and I figured that out real quick, that I better have a budget of what I don't wanna go over, and pay attention and be intentional about what I'm spending. So, it jumps on me every now and then, and, I'm like, "Hey, I need a new wardrobe." But here's the thing, I've taught my kids, and this is what I had to teach myself as well, because I noticed that, when I was in my 20s and I had my own apartment and I was single before kids, this is before kids, I realized that I was hoarding a lot of stuff that I didn't. Why am I keeping this? I was hoarding. Here's a funny thing. I was hoarding this sweater that I loved the colors in this sweater. I had bought it at the Sloss and Swap Meet. If y'all from LA, you know where I'm talking about. But I bought it from the Sloss and Swap Meet, and it was the most beautiful sweater. And it had like a red, and it had purple, and it had if I remember correctly, it had lavender and it had black in it. It was like one of my favorite sweaters. So mind you, back then everything was tight and right. Tight and right. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm recovering from a cold. But everything was tight and right. And um I was probably a size 8 at that time. Well, my big sister, and I don't mean to say that, you know, intentionally or with a pun, but it's because she was my older sister. Let me say that. My older sister, instead of saying big sister, but my older sister, who was a lot more heavier set and larger built than me, and definitely in the front, she was more buxom in her bust than I was. Um, she decided to wear my sweater and went into my room and took my sweater and wore it. Needless to say, when I put my sweater on the next time, I had these extra stretched out, in certain areas. I was like, what is happening with my sweater right now? I don't understand. And come to find out, and I don't even know how I found out, but somehow I found out that my sister had worn my sweater. Not once, but several times. And I was like, what is happening right now? I was like, "We're not even the same size. Why are you getting in my sweater?" Yes, it was oversized, but that was the fashion back then, was wearing those oversized long sweaters. And I was like, "I can't believe she got into my sweater." And that was just crazy to me. But it happened. So needless to say, I'm talking about stretching things out that may not fit, and now you have to fill in that space, or you're going to have to move to a new space. So I'm saying all of this because this is the title of this this episode. This is episode 5 of oops, I just hit the wrong thing. Okay, so this is episode 5 of Just Be a Podcast, hashtag Single Moms Level Up. And we are made for more. We are made for more. We are made for this, which is more single moms. So we're made for more single moms, and we're made for this. We are. And I believe this because I'm going to move this down, and I do this every time. I don't know why I don't just fix it and have it that way already. It's just something I do. All right. But anyway, we're made for more single moms, and we're made for this. And how I'm figuring that statement and how I came about to that statement being true was this. Um, I noticed that my children were pulling out things in me that I was either unaware of or that I didn't think I could do. So, me being a sick child, we talked about that. My asthma and my allergies were really bad when I was little, in and out of the hospital, a lot of medications and all that stuff. I was always told I can't do things. I can't participate in sports. I can't be outside during this type of weather. I can't be outside during that type of weather. The time that I could really be outside was around my birthday, which is in July. And that was usually around June, the end of June, because I had to wait until after all the pollen and everything settled. But it was when it got hot, because that's when stuff was no longer blooming and that pollen and stuff has pretty much settled down. So it was in the summertime that I got to go outside, y'all. I got to go outside and yeah, they were telling me I wasn't supposed to be running, but I was running. I was running. I was running, playing tag and all kinds of stuff and doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing because they told me I couldn't, but I was doing it anyway. The funny thing is that I came back around to that because I had reverted back to a lot of the things that were said to me, and those things were coming up in my mind and limiting, giving me limiting thoughts. Um, enter my kids that yes, I can do way more and I'm made for so much more. And I was made for this single motherhood. Single motherhood has brought me to who I really am. Um, Brought me back to that. I've been through some things, been through a lot of relationships and some ups and downs, some hurts, and picked up some habits and all kinds of things. To the point that this all came to a crest now that my second child is now a young adult. She's 18. She's a young adult, and now I have an 18 and a 22, soon to be 23-year-old. So now I have young adults, and I need to find something for me to do. You know, something for me, something that I'm interested in. What am I interested in? Am I still interested in the stuff that I used to be interested in? I had to find out who I am all over again because I had jumped completely into raising my kids. And so I only had a few relationships. Yeah, I could say 3 relationships in the time of raising my kids. Um yeah. No, 4. 4 relationships because 'cause I'm in one now. But I've had, only, 3 relationships in raising my kids. I could say that because yeah, well, that 4th one, my daughter was, like, 16, 17 when we started dating, and it's a long distance relationship, so, it's a little different. But anyway, so, in that process, I've found who I am. I've been mirrored back what's going on in my life, why I'm attracting certain people, why I was attracted to this person, that person, or whoever, and why I didn't, just drop my standards and just said whatever comes, comes. And then when it did, I was like, okay, this part of it, thank you for teaching me that this is what I want. I found out what I really want by going through these relationships that I've had. So, and the main relationship that was consistent and constant throughout this whole time was my relationship with my kids. And so my kids have taught me so much about myself because kids are brutally honest. Okay. They're brutally honest. They don't care about your feelings. Okay. Especially when they get to their teenage years, they don't care. I had opened up dialogues with my kids about their teenage years because I know and remember how being a teenager was and how you felt a lot of isolation, felt like you couldn't talk to anybody, your parents weren't around, especially with a single parent. They're out at work and whatever, and you just feel a little alone. So I opened up dialogue with my kids and they took us a while to get into that because I felt like we needed to have more of communication between us, and I wanted to open up the communication lines with us. And so that was done. But still, I was learning about myself. I'm sure they learned about themselves. My kids like know me now. I think it was about in their teenage years that I kind of let loose a little bit, and they saw a side of me that they'd never seen before. I was totally embarrassed by how I reacted to a situation that didn't seem like it even really called for all that. I didn't have to go off like I did, but I did. It was in a situation my kids were they thought it was hilarious. I mean, like, they were crying and just rolling and just for a long time, and it was started, irritating me because 'cause they're laughing at me because 'cause they've never seen me so mad before. Here was the situation, uh, we're driving, it's late at night, I believe it was in the summertime. It was later in the evening, and I think we were going, I don't know, to McDonald's or something, I don't know, to the grocery store or whatever. We were all in the car together, and for whatever reason, in this particular area, close to my house where we have to go grocery shopping, the people were, like, not acknowledging the fact that, first off, this is a wide intersection, and they're blocking traffic from going in the opposite direction, in the parallel direction. They're blocking cross traffic. So these people are just like blocking it and they keep doing it and keep doing it, keep doing it to the point that the traffic side that I was on, we were not able to go because these other people wouldn't stop. They wouldn't leave the space, they wouldn't do anything. Finally, they put up these signs and everything talking about, don't block the box or whatever. And so now they're being threatened with a ticket for blocking traffic. They still kind of do it anyway, but anyway. So we're trying to go across and we're not getting across. So me being me, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna straight out of Compton this. So I'm just edging through, edging through, edging through. This woman flies in front of me on purpose. She sees me trying to get across, trying to get across, trying to get across, and she just jumps in front of me. And y'all, I lost my stuff. I must have called her all kinds of names. I called her out her name. I was this, that. I was this, that. Da, 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 da. And before I knew it, I realized my kids were in the car and I done cursed this woman to hell. I mean, I just, my mouth just went and let loose. My kids were laughing so hard. I did not hear them. I was so pissed off, this, that, whatever. But the point was, is I was livid. There's that word again. That's how I ended up in the situation that I was in a couple weeks ago when yet again I allowed the situation to get me livid. I shouldn't be that way. I asked God to help me with that anger, and it doesn't come up much, and it actually hadn't come up in decades, but recently it has reappeared. So, I had asked God to help me with that. And so a lot of times, when you pray and ask God to help you with something, he's going to bring you into a situation where you got to exhibit some self-control and institute some self-control. So first off, I felt so ashamed at getting so upset like I did to the point that I affected my health. I affected my body. I felt the effects in my body all the way through my fingertips and my toes. Like they were tingling, they were doing all kinds of stuff. I was feeling prickles everywhere. And I realized, like I said, I have my grandson in my hands that, hey, I can't be like this. And I can't sit up here and cause myself to have a health emergency, a medical emergency, and I've got my grandson in my arms. I want to be here for him. I want to be here for my children. I want to be here for my future grandchildren. I want to be here to finish out the work that God has called me to do. I want to be here to um to experience the kingdom on earth. I want to be here to be so that to be the example for my kids that they can do anything that they set their minds to. Um I want them to see me prosper. I want them to see me go from where I was to where God wants me to be. I want my children to see me as more than just their mom, to see me more than just their mom, to see that I am a person, to see that I am moving forward, to see me be resilient, to see how to be resilient, to see how to start over again, to see how I still have things to show them, as they're growing up and everything, and to have somebody to talk to when they need that person to talk to that they know is going to love them no matter what. That's what it is. We're made for this, single moms. We're made for this to be single moms because there's things that we need to do. There's things that we still need to show our children. There are new levels that we need to go through, and knowing this, that the new levels that we're going through are not about they're not about power or position. It's about perspective, how we see things. And the way that we could see things better is to go to a different level and look at it from a different level at a different direction, from a place of peace and rest, from a place of healing, from a place of being able to do what we can do. So I learned that definition of rising to a new level is not so much about power or position, but perspective from Bishop Dale Bronner. He uh, s- had a sermon that was called "Made for More," and it came about just about the time that I realized that I was made for more than being just my kid's mom, and for being just an employee, and all this for being just anything. I came into my true identity through being a single mom, and that has happened over the past 3 years. I've come into my own identity and who I am. So, one of the other things that Bishop Bronner also said is the process of life is: one, we hurt; two, we heal; three, we grow; four, we help others. That's what we learn in single motherhood. We learn all that stuff that our kids get hurt, they heal, they grow. We teach them to help and love others. Um, and that's part of being a single mom, and we also learn that for ourselves too, especially if you were like me and I lost myself and my children. A lot of times they say that's a bad thing, um and it was for my body, because I let that, I left it alone and just let it do what it do, and didn't steward it well, didn't guide it well, was doing, I just wasn't doing well with that. That's the residue of it. But I don't regret it because I can bring it back into alignment. I don't regret it because I have spent the quality time with my children. Um they're starting to remember these things as young adults, that I was there, I was present, I did what I did the best that I could do. I made time for them. In those times when things were hard, I learned to relax and just roll with it, those times of unemployment, those times of layoffs or whatever, and wondering where money was going to be coming from. I just went and volunteered at the kids' school and went to the field trips and whatever else, taking care of my mom, in the last 2 years of her life, and taking care of her house. I was able to be home for my kids, and do that in a time that, money was tight, and but I made it through with the grace by the grace of God. Made it through by the grace of God. So something else that Bishop Bronner said was the meaning of life is to discover your gift. The purpose of life is to serve it to others. So our gift is not for us; it's for us to serve it to others. These are things that, and I'm going a little bit over, and I apologize, but these are 5 things that we were designed to do, and these are 5 things that also that I believe single motherhood teaches us, and that's one of them is love, to see the bad but say the good. 2 is to forgive, which opens us up. 3 is to learn and improve, which is growing. 4 is to serve, and that is to have compassion for people. And 5 is increase, which is learning how to change and accept that change. That's what single motherhood to me is, and it's done so much for me and shown me and taught me so much. I pray that you can have the time and the opportunity to look back and see all of that as well. Something that's helped me is a focus journal, and that focus journal has exposed and taught me the things that I've seen and how I've grown and how I need to still keep growing. No, I'm not perfect. A lot of people look at me and say, "Wow, she's got it going on, this, that, whatever," but they don't know. Then if you don't take the time to get to know people, you would never really, really know. And if you don't take the time to walk a mile in their shoes, you don't get it. And so know that people need each other, especially us single moms. We need one another and to support one another. And that's where I'm picking up with this single moms level up. It is a community. It is a movement of single moms. I've found some other single moms on social media that I have connected with as well. And we got to create this community for our single moms because nobody else is going to do it. It's 20 something years later, and still it's just now getting started. And we need to be with to unite with one another because women, united together are extremely strong. Um, so let's go from just surviving to CEO in every area of our lives through self care, self love, and supporting one another in community. If you want to join a community, you can go to the Single Moms Club private Facebook group and request to join, answer the 3 questions honestly so that we can keep this content fresh and up to date and helping you in the best way possible. Also, look out for those ads for the Single Moms Conference that is coming up later at the end of this month on the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th. And I will see you all and talk to you all later on next week. Next week. And by the way, my health is better. I had a normal reading of my blood pressure today. So yay, I'm doing better. So thank you so much for any thoughts or prayers that you may have had. I appreciate it. And let's keep moving forward, y'all. Let's keep moving forward. Hashtag single moms level up. Bye. We out. Recording. Going